Good morning everyone! Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat and welcome to another Facebook special of the Early Childhood Care and Development Council. I will be your host for today, Kara Uy, Program Development Officer. Yesterday, February 15, we commemorated or we observed the International Childhood Cancer Day. This is a global, collaborative campaign that aims to raise awareness about childhood cancer, understanding the experiences that these children go through as well as their families. Pero, bago natin pag-usapan itong International Childhood Cancer Day, ano nga ba ang childhood cancer at paano ito nangyayari sa mga katawan ng mga bata? Para maintindihan ito, let's watch this short video.
I am Dr. Will Parsons,
I am Dr. Lisa Diller.
I'm Dr. Serena Vagan.
and my job is
To help treat kids with cancer.
What is cancer?
Cancer is a disease that happens when cells grow and divide very fast, forming tumors and hurting normal cells. Cells are very small building blocks that make up our bodies. There are trillions of cells in each person's body, each with a specific job, like to be hair cells, or brain cells, or heart cells, or skin cells. Cancer cells are not normal body cells, they're like invaders, and they won't stop growing unless something is done to stop them. If they continue to grow out of control, they can hurt the normal cells that are supposed to be in our bodies, and then the person can get very sick.
Why do kids get cancer?
For most children who develop cancer, doctors don't know why they developed cancer. We know some things about the causes of some types of childhood cancer, and we are working hard to learn more. Researchers are like detectives who try to understand what cancer cells are made of and to find medicine that will knock them out.
Are there different kinds of cancer?
There are all different types of cancer. Leukemia, which is cancer in the blood, and retinoblastoma, that is cancer in the eye, and brain tumors, and even bone tumors. Childhood cancer is very rare. You cannot catch cancer from anyone. It is not contagious, and there isn't anything a child does to cause cancer.
How do doctors stop cancer?
Doctors like me work hard every day to find medicines and ways to get rid of all cancers in kids.
Doctors have a lot of tools to treat cancer. They can remove tumors with surgery, medicine, or other treatments. And there are all sorts of other medications that a doctor can prescribe to help kids, depending upon what kind of cancer they have.
What can kids do to help?
Kids can help by asking questions. If you know someone with cancer, ask your parents about him or her.
When you have a friend or a classmate with cancer, remember that they're not somehow different. They still want to talk to you, so please reach out to them and be kind.
Alex Scott, who founded Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, was just a kid, but she knew that there were kids with cancer, just like her, who were not getting better from their cancer. She decided she could do something to help those kids by selling lemonade in her front yard. Her idea was that if she could give the doctors the money from her lemonade stand, they could work faster to find ways to make kids with cancer better. Her idea worked. And today, thanks to Alex and research, more kids do survive. Because of all this lemonade stand money, more kids are getting better from cancer every day.
Ayan, may konting kaalaman na tayo or understanding tungkol sa childhood cancer at paano nga ba ito nangyayari sa katawan ng isang tao. At para pag-usapan pa ito, ay nag-imbita tayo ng isang resource person. Ang inibitahan natin ay nagmumula sa Kite Foundation. Ang Kite Foundation is a non-profit, non-stock organization that brings together people and efforts aimed towards improving the quality of life of children hospitalized, yung mga nasa ospital with cancer and other chronic illnesses. They do not just focus on the medical side or the medical needs of these children, but more importantly, on the psychological or socio-emotional needs of these children as well as that of their families. Hindi dito natatapos ang trabaho nila dahil dala nila ang pag-asa, pagbabago, at kasiyahan. Let me introduce our speaker for today. She is the Child Life Service Manager of Kite Foundation, Miss Caroline T. Tongco. Miss Carol started out volunteering in Kite Foundation and eventually joined them as a volunteer program coordinator. An educator, trainer, and facilitator by profession, she is passionate about expressive arts, the mindfulness practice, and storytelling. A heartist, sabi nga niya doon sa kanyang bio note, itatanong natin kung ano nga ba ito, and plantita. Let us welcome Miss Carol Tongco.
Hello, I'm Carol. Just like what Miss Carol said, I'm a heartist. So what that means is basically I'm not just an artist creating arts for aesthetic. I want to make sure that I do arts to help others heal, help others reflect and have enlightenment.
Okay, so at least may understanding na tayo no, so kung ano yung ibig sabihin nito. Sige, for those who are hearing about Kite Foundation for the first time, no, I think sa ilan dadaanan nila sa social media or sa mga Facebook posts, no. Pero can you tell us more about Kite and your projects and activities?
Yeah, so just like what you said earlier, Miss Sarah, we try as much as we can to improve the quality of life of children in the hospital, not just with cancer, but with other chronic illnesses, lalimutan, because when a child gets hospitalized, ang daming mga bagay ang miss out nila. They miss out on schooling, they miss out on socialization, and many others, So in Kite, we make sure that the child still has opportunities to learn, play, and grow kahit sila ay nasa hospital. So we do that by providing play. Of course, play is the language of children. Play is the way they communicate. They make sense of the world. They understand the world. Kaya we try to bring play back into their lives. And also, we use a lot of play for intervention to help piety, especially kapag sila ay mga procedures na very invasive.
Okay, so you've said, no, you bring play back into their lives kasi siguro in their context because they're hospitalized, nawawala talaga yung ganitong opportunity. Can you share more? Ano nga ba yung klase ng activities na binibigay ninyo pagka ganito yung condition or may condition yung bata, may cancer or may chronic illnesses?
Yeah, so first of all, we provide them the normative play, the normal kind of play where they can just choose whatever toys they want. Child-led play, kumbaga, they get to choose the kind of activities who they want to play with, if they want to play alone or with someone else, no? So it can be developmentally appropriate also. So marami kaming range of activities we provide for different developmental stages. And also, aside from normative play, a big chunk of what we do talaga is therapeutic play, no? So in therapeutic play, we help them express themselves through play, no? So, especially these children, they don't have much language to express what they're going through. So, we provide them arts activities, yung mga puppets, yung mga iba't ibang drawing activities, storybooks. We do a lot of those activities to help them express themselves. Next is we use play as a way to prepare and educate them about their procedure. No? Siyempre, kapag hindi mo alam kung anong mangyayari sa'yo, mas lalo ka matatakot. So we use a lot of books. So Kite produces books for bibliotherapy to help the children understand na ito yung step-by-step na mangyayari sa akin. Ito yung mga sensations that I might feel. These are the smell, these are the feeling in my skin, these are the sounds that I might hear, these are the things that I might see, these are the materials na pwede kong nakita, and we provide them those materials through medical play, yung mga syringe without the needle, of course. We ask them to play with it, we ask them to play as the doctors, para in a way they feel more empowered na, oh, ako yung doctor this time. Tapos kami mga child life practitioners, kami yung madalas na patient nila. So nagkakaroon ng role reversal na sila yung in charge at kaming mga adults, yung mga patients listening to them. So that's just the gist of what we do as a way to do intervention.
Okay, nakakatuwa kasi even the principles no of being developmentally appropriate, seeing no na tinitignan natin yung stages of development nila sa pagbigay ng paglalaro. And nasabi nyo nga yung child-led play. Nakakatuwa kasi I used to be a preschool teacher and syempre very important that you give the children that agency to select no and to sustain their kind of play, and nakikita natin that play isn't just play, it's your way of communicating with the children. Sabi nyo nga, you also give them that language to express themselves. In your website, you have what you refer to as petals. No, ito yung kumbaga parang part din sa principles of your programs and activities. Can you tell us more about petals?
Yeah, so PETALS is the acronym for the services that we provide. So P stands for play. Siyempre, nga, sinabi natin, very important sa mga bata ang play. E means educate and prepare the child for the procedure. Gaya na nasabi ko kanina, importante na alam nila kung ano yung mga pwedeng mangyari para mabawasan yung kaba at takot nila. Hindi natin maaalis ang kaba at takot, pero pwede natin mabawasan. E means tend to the emotional needs of the child and the family. Kapag ang bata ay may sakit, hindi lang yung bata yung na-stress. Siyempre, yung magulang, yung family members nila. So we make sure we also tend to the emotional needs, not just of the child, but also of the whole family. Very important sa amin, not just child-centered yung approach, but also family-centered yung approach. A means assist during medical procedure. So, nandun kami para kami mga clown na nagdi-distract sa mga bata. And also coaching them. Ano yung mga na-practice natin kanina during education and preparation? Deep breaths, singing, maybe counting, maybe thinking of happy thoughts, maybe looking at a book, maybe playing something else para hindi ka mag-focus on the pain, but you can distract yourself and do some coping skills that we learn. L means link to resources and to different networks. Kasi sometimes we have connections with maybe institutions or organizations that can help them. So, kami yung nagiging tulay para mas maihatid sa mga pamilya at sa mga bata na to kung ano yung kailangan nila. And lastly, F in the petals means support parental involvement or parental empowerment. Kasi kanino ba humugot ng lakas ang mga bata? Siyempre sa kanilang mga magulang. So, we try as much as we can to empower the parents on what they can do, ano pwede nilang magawa para mas magtuloy-tuloy yung pagpapagaling ng mga bata kahit sila ay nasa bahay.
Yan. Nakakatuwa kasi very, kumbaga nakikita ko na apply yung regular child development, growth and development principles, even in the context of children with cancer and chronic illnesses. In the petals, natuwa ako na may letter T, yung tending to the emotional needs of children and their family. From your experience, Miss Carol, ano yung nakikita niyong difference in the emotional needs of these children bago tayo pumunta sa pamilya and caregivers?
Sa mga batang ito, depende sa kanilang developmental stage. They have a different experience of hospitalization. For the very young ones, separation from people na they find security with. Parang, pag pupunta ko sa ospital, yung mga taong familiar ako, sila lolo, sila lola, sila tita, sila daddy, wala, si mami lang kasama ko. And then, yung stranger anxiety, andyan, nakikita ko, mga nakaputi. Pag kami na nakaputing lalapit sa akin, i-injection na ako, matatakot ako, or masasaktan ako. So, anyone na lalapit na nakaputi, they would be scared of them. For the school-age children, iba naman yung experiences nila, no? So, they would lose opportunities of going to school. So, they will miss out on yung important developmental stage na to wherein they find confidence and competence na I can do it. Pero nasa hospital ako, there are some patients who said na, ay sayang, top 10 ako pero mawawala na ako sa top 10 kasi nagpapagamot ako. Wala na ako sa honor. So yun yung mga things that they miss out on. And for the teenagers, they miss a lot of opportunities for socialization. Diba, barkada na importante sa kanila, no? So they miss opportunities for barkada lakad, mga ganyang bagay. So depending on developmental stage, ang daming epekto nito sa mga bata. And also for teens, since medyo alam na nila yung konsepto ng mga abstract concepts such as death or possibility of death, iba na rin ang impact sa kanila. They could suffer from depression, from anxiety, and many other mental illnesses that's coming from the thought na, meron akong life-threatening.
Like you've said, there are, by different stages, there are different needs. So, most likely, iba-iba din, no, yung mga interventions ninyo. Specifically for children in the earlier years. Kasi, pagdating sa ECCD Council, talagang 5 years and below. Ano yung kadalasang nagiging interventions niyo for children who have cancer or who have chronic illnesses in this age?
Yeah, for ages below 5, we give them opportunities sa mga sensory activities or sensory play kasi ito yung stage wherein they make sense of the world through their bodies. So we provide them sensory activities, sensory play, also a lot of music and movement for them. And also since limited nga yung language nila, we provide opportunities for them to draw. So one of the research that we did actually was using children's drawing to understand their level of anxiety. So meron kaming tool na ginamit, yung child drawing hospital test, wherein we're able to understand what's going on in their minds, no? Because of their drawings, yung kanilang hospital experience with their drawings. And we see the difference before we implemented the child life intervention and after 6 months of intervention. Nakikita na namin talaga through their drawings yung difference ng level of their anxiety.
Okay, so we also get to understand that children have understanding of what they're experiencing. And somehow, just because they lack the verbal language, doesn't mean they can't express themselves. Sabi mo nga, may mga art activities kayo that would help them express themselves, no? On the other side, or the other side of the coin, syempre nandyan yung family and their caregivers and caregivers of the children. Pag usapin ng bata, hindi naman natin sila maihiwalay. There was a term that you mentioned a while ago, yung family-centered care. So how does this work in your programs and services?
We work closely with the primary caregiver of the child. So, yun yung kumbaga kung may layer, we work with the child, and then second layer is we work with the primary caregiver of the child. Minsan, it's the mom, minsan it's the dad, minsan it's the tita or the lolo or the lola. So, first we ensure na meron silang opportunities to be heard or also marinig yung kanilang nararamdaman at yung mga problema nila. So, meron kaming mga parent kapihan session wherein parents get inspiration from each other, kasi very important the sense of community, that they don't feel alone in their suffering, na meron silang kapareho ng pinagdaan. At meron din mga magulang nagbibigay ng lakas ng loob sa kapwa nilang magulang. Nagbibigay sila ng resources. Uy, pwede kang lumapit dito kung kulang ka ng funds, or pwede kang humingi ng gamot dito, or may extra akong gamot, pwede kong ma-share sa'yo. No? So, nagiging community siya. And then we also do parent empowerment sessions. So what does that mean? Sometimes we invite experts or halimbawa mga doctors na maaring makasagot dun sa mga karaniwang pangangailangan ng mga magulang. Halimbawa, yung mga misconception about their children's disease. So we invite mga hema-onco doctors to talk about the particular disease. No? Sometimes we also invite nutritionists, yes, para malaman nila kung ano yung proper nutrition to help their children. Sometimes we invite a positive discipline coach, no? So para matulungan sila, ano ba yung mga ways of disciplining their child? Kasi ang hirap mag-disiplina ng bata kung alam mo may sakit, para nakaka-guilty na paggalitan or i-correct. Minsan na nahihirapan yung parents i-weigh, how much discipline could I give, or kailan ko ba pagbibigyan yung on. So that's for the caregivers. And for the families sometimes we do have sibling activities. So sometimes, halimbawa, may kite flying kami or may mga parties kami, we invite the siblings also. Kasi the siblings feel left out na, ay, bakit parating yung kapatid ko yung kasama sa party or nabibigyan ng attention ng bangko or ng parents ko. So we also give them opportunities to be part of some of our activities. And of course, minsan may mga pasyente tayo na hindi matagal ang buhay or namamatay sila along the way, no? Hindi doon nagtatapos ang serbisyo ng hindi porkat namatay na ang bata, hindi kami nag-provide ng emotional support. So we do provide grief session for the parents and the family members also. And that's a 3-part grief session na we do online. And as a culmination, we do a Remembrance Day. So we see them face-to-face, do some yung memory-making activity, remembering the patient who passed away. So ganun ang aming approach from simula ng illness hanggang death. So talagang all throughout the patient journey, we make sure na nandun kami to, kumbaga, samahan ang mga pamilya sa pinagdadaan.
You've mentioned, no, na parang kumbaga holistic siya. Yeah, sabi mo nga, from the start of the illness, even during the illness, and even after, no, when death comes, it's a whole process. And a while ago, you were discussing na minsan nag-i-invite kayo ng mga positive parenting coaches, no, na somehow providing these parents with tips, yung everyday practices that can be applied with their children. I guess some of these practices can actually be applied even with children na may sakit lang, not necessarily may cancer or may chronic illness. What are some of the things that you think are applicable even to parents who do not necessarily have children with cancer or with chronic illnesses?
Oo. So, yun nga. Kasi sa child life, ang intervention talaga namin focusing on children na hospitalized. No? Pero alam mo, ang child life talaga, applicable siya kahit hindi nga cancer and chronic illness. Kahit nga batang takot sa dentista, batang takot sa injection, batang ayaw kumain ng masustansyang pagkain, batang ayaw magpa-injection. So, we do provide tools or tips for the parents. So, halimbawa, ayaw uminom ng gamot. Siyempre, ang initial reaction ng magulang, whether you like it or not, kailangan uminom, kailangan mo to. So, parang nagiging traumatic experience sa pagpapainom ng gamot. So, meron kami mga tips and tools na pwedeng ituro sa mga magulang kahit yung mga regular lang na paracetamol for sakit, for regular sakit. So, we teach them tools on how they can be more effective parents para mabigay yung mga pangailangan na.
It's really also parang you go down to the level of the children or you make them understand. Tama ba yung understanding ko with that explanation?
Yeah. Oo, parang we try to meet the patients where they are. Kasi di ba parang, I'm sure parang tayo, we were raised in a generation na si parent ang masusunod ng ganun. But we try as much as we can in kind na parang meet the child where they are and then collaborate with the child, not parang fight with the child, no? So parang yun yung isa sa mga ideas na sinishare namin, especially with concepts of positive or positive parenting or positive discipline.
Okay, so ang isa sa mga primary na mga audience namin actually here are parents, no, child development teachers and workers, those who are service providers in ECCD services in the local government unit. And mostly, baka may iba, no, na naka-experience na or may nakilala or may naging estudyante din or may naging anak din po, no, na may cancer or may chronic illnesses. But for those who have not yet experienced, no, or have not encountered any, are there things that they should look out for from your perspective, like emotionally, sa physical side ba, meron bang mga, red flag to, dapat inilalapit na natin to someone, like you've said, you also link, no, to networks, to resources that could also help them sino nga ba dapat yung nilalapitan nila pagka may mga ganitong mga, kumbaga situations?
Mhm. So, depending on the need, let's say, for example, in National Children's Hospital, we have patients with, let's say, thalassemia or cancer na nakakita namin, uy, parang merong developmental delay or merong mga behavioral concern that limits the treatment na, ay, ang hirap lagyan ng swero kasi meron siyang mga ganitong behavior. We link them to the department na taking care of the developmental needs of the child. So parang minsan internal referral siya depending on saang ospital confine yung bata. And sometimes, halimbawa, linked to outside na institution. For example, in National Children's Hospital, they have a partner, yung Little Art Foundation. So, ang pinaprovide naman nila is halfway houses for those living from far-flung provinces. So, depende sa need nila, whether it's monetary need, or it's parang housing need, or parang an intervention. We try to direct them to institutions or maybe a department in the hospital that would help them.
So there are really a variety of services and resources na pwedeng malapitan depending on the needs of, well, number one, the child or yung sa patient, and also the family and their primary caregivers, whether that's the parents or other relatives. Yeah, we're almost nearing the end of our interview, or very short interview. I'd like to give you also the opportunity, Miss Carol, to parang talk about how, number one, our audience can support KAIF with your advocacy, with your program and activities, no, and how they can watch out for even yung mga posts nyo, yung mga resources na nasabi mo kanina.
So, hello everyone. I'm inviting you to check out our website wherein you can see different campaigns na pwede niyong masuportahan ang ating mga pasyente in the hospital who has cancer and chronic illness. So, we do have Adopt a Patient program wherein we can make sure na itong patient na to, they get the treatment and yung mga pangailangan nilang medication and also their transportation to and from the hospital. We also have wellness campaign kasi important din ang nutrition ng mga bata, no? So we provide them yung mga milk and mga supplements na kailangan nila to help them support their treatment and hospitalization. We also have child care kits and emergency fund, ano, to help the children, especially dun sa mga bata na hospitalized for a long time. The child care kit helps with, parang to help them have access to play even if they are in the hospital. And the emergency fund, it provides the urgent needs of the patient. So you can check out our website to see ano yung mga ways wherein you can support KAIF. Also, you can check us at our Facebook page. You can just search for KAIF Foundation. We also have Instagram. We also have LinkedIn. So in there, we post mga activities, mga campaigns, mga events wherein you can take part in.
Okay, so nakakatuwa kasi variety din, no, yung pwede natin, hindi man tayo kabilang pa ng KAIF, no, but we can as nagsusupport din sa kanila, like Miss Carol has mentioned, may emergency fund, yung sa child care kit, and even yung mga wellness program nila, yung wellness campaign, and then yung adopt a patient, no, na kinakailangan din talaga ng suporta. Alam natin pagka may sakit ang isang tao, isa sa mga pangunahing pangangailangan, well, number one is yung financial para matugunan yung medical side. And also, sabi nga ni Miss Carol kanina, yung psychological side or socio-emotional, no, na pangangailangan ng mga batang ito, pati na rin ng kanilang pamilya. Okay, so last few words, Miss Carol, as a part of the International Childhood Cancer Day for our audience.
Okay, so maraming tao ang hindi aware na ang kahit mga bata ay maaaring magkaroon din ng cancer, no? Pero, yun nga, kagaya na sinabi ko kanina, ang cancer o kahit anumang chronic illness ay hindi hadlang para magkaroon ng quality of life ng ating mga inaalagaan pasyente. Meron pa rin paraan para maibalik sa kanila opportunities na makapaglaro, makapag-socialize, mag-develop into a person they want to be. So I invite you to support Kai in our initiatives, and thank you for listening and being part of this program.
Ang maganda yung parang closing statement na hindi ito isang hadlang para sa mga batang ito, no, to become the persons that they want to be. Again, maraming salamat, Miss Carol, for this very short but very insightful na discussion natin with Kais and your initiatives and your campaigns from the foundation. From the ACCT Council, we really extend our gratitude, no, and appreciation, number one, for your foundation and even accepting our invitation. Okay, so maraming salamat po sa ating mga audience, no, and sa mga child development teachers, workers, sa mga BNS, sa mga BHWs. Alam naming nanonood kayo, and a lot of you are making your comments, no, pinaparating nyo kung saan kayo nanggagaling, ano yung, for sure, may mga nagkukwento po ng inyong mga karanasan. Again, this day, we want again to celebrate the International Childhood Cancer Day, no, as a way to, number one, raise awareness of childhood cancer, like we said, and establish kahit po sa mga bata nangyayari po ito. And at the same time, understand or have a way of appreciating, no, na ganito nga pala yung experiences or mga karanasan ng mga batang ito, pati na rin ng kanilang pamilya. Again, this has been your host, Miss Cara Uy. Till our next Facebook Live, maraming salamat.